This is a trend that has been happening for a while. I've seen it everywhere for pretty much the past 2 years. What am I talking about? Well, if you read the thumbnail, you know I'm talking about rage baiting. Where did it come from? When did it start? Who and where and when was the first time that rage bait was initiated? For as far back as I can remember, it started in high school, maybe even middle school, depending on the occasion. It was when you were in class and you were saying something funny or saying something inappropriate or just being you, and your friend raises his hand and says, "I'm going to tell on you." And then when the teacher calls on him, he says, "Oh, can I go use the bathroom?" I feel like it's the first moment we've all gotten rage baited, in a sense. Now, of course, if you were homeschooled, that excludes you, and if you're not one of the people that fall in this category, well, just think of your own and drop it in the comments below. I'd love to read it. Ever since then, rage baiting has turned into this monstrous conglomerate of just, it's an excuse now. If you're wrong and your friend starts yelling at you about how wrong you are, you're just like, haha, yo, bro, it's rage bait. I'm rage baiting you. If you're playing a video game and you see the opportunity to kill your friend, whether you're playing against him or playing on the same team, majority of the time it's the same team shenanigans that usually end up rage baiting. But, like in Siege, if you toss a C4 at one of your defending buddies and blow him up, it's a good chance that you'll be accused of rage baiting. It is incredible nowadays how easily that rage is just exposed throughout the human body. Just for example, earlier tonight, I was playing Battlefield 6. The game mode was Conquest. I had two of my best friends in the lobby with me. If you've watched stream, I typically refer to them as Ag and Crawford. They were playing the game, and it was a Conquest match. If you are not aware what a Conquest match is, you start at 1,000 tickets. The enemy team has 1,000, you have 1,000. There are 5 objectives, I believe, A, B, C, D, and E. I believe there was an F, so 6 total objectives, 3 for each team ideally. But the goal is to hold as many points as possible and to not respawn. That's simply the goal. You have medics that can keep reviving you. Eventually, after enough downs, you do just die permanently and you have to waste a respawn. But the goal is to capture the point and kill the enemy more than they're killing you. Well, we were about 541 points. The enemy was sinking below 200. I believe they were at like 219 and counting downward. I made the comment, there is no way we can lose this game. And this was the first moment. This was the first seed. One of my friends said, "What does it matter? We don't got to win." Said something along the lines of that. And every time I mentioned the score from that moment on, "Oh guys, we're going to lose. We got to fucking put our heads together. We got to get back in the game. We got to fight. We got to play Conquest. Stop dying. Stop respawning. Wait for your medic." He would say, "It doesn't matter, bro. We could lose." All the way up until the point where our 330-something point lead was exhausted and the game was left at 16-16. And the screen flashed red. It said, "Enemy has taken control." We had had control since virtually the beginning of the game. Since about 900 points, they sunk below to 800, and we kind of started crushing it from there. Fast forward to the current moment that I'm talking about, we're at 16-16. And boom, we go to 14. They used to go to 15. Boom. We jumped all the way down to 9. They go to 12. And I can just tell the downward ending spiral means that we lost the game. Now, regardless of whether or not he wanted to rage bait me, it seemed very simple that the next time that he said, "It doesn't matter, bro. See, we lost." I exploded. Now, I don't know why I exploded. Was it true rage bait, or was it simply due to outside forces that I can't control? I don't know. I'm going to say that I was most likely rage baited into the point of saying things and yelling at him to the point that I typically don't. I typically try to reserve that anger and go punch a tree like it's Minecraft, but typically I'm successful. But tonight, with nearly a 600-point loss, Ragebait pulled me in, whispered me sweet nothings, slapped me in the face, and said, "Buckle up, buddy. We're going on a ride." I proceeded to quite literally not recover from that. I didn't play another game well at all. Pretty much all of our games ended in defeat because I just had a negative mindset. Ragebait has powerful antics that can be played against you to cause the downfall. It's almost like rage baiting is associated with someone preying on your downfall, but that's not associated to rage baiting in general. So, rage baiting is interesting. So, if you can kind of pinpoint the first true recorded rage bait incident of mankind, that'd be pretty cool. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to read it. But, man, there's one other occasion when I get rage baited, at least. And if you've been here, again, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to interact and, grow content and community. But when your friend is overly good at a video game that you introduced him to, I don't know if that necessarily qualifies as active rage bait, but in a sense, let's take Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is one of my favorite games of all time. I've been playing since Mortal Kombat on the arcade machines, and the first console edition that I got good at was Mortal Kombat 10. Still widely recognized as one of the greatest games of all time, Mortal Kombat 10 was one of the games I felt I could go professional in. I was dominating local and county-wide as well as statewide tournaments. Well, statewide I'd get third or fourth place, but county-wide, city-wide, I was the champion. I was pretty good. Now, of course, I wasn't a Sonic Fox who was dominating the regional and world scene at the time, and still currently is. I was more of, the hometown hero. So when Mortal Kombat 1 came out, you can imagine I was there. I was ready to play. I was ready to get good at the game. The very first time that Neversoft, I guess, NetherRealm, I believe, I don't know, whoever makes Mortal Kombat, the first time they rage baited me was the introduction of the cameo system. That was the worst introduction. And if you're not aware of the cameo system, it is, depending on your control layout, I switched mine to bumper in any direction, and it kind of like gives you a combo extender. It is one of the worst mechanics of all time. I can't honestly agree with any of the design choices behind the cameos, because they took some of my favorite characters and put them behind a cameo wall. That's a different discussion for a different day. But to fast forward to the rage bait part of this story, my friend got incredibly good. So good to the fact that we have quite literally stopped playing Mortal Kombat 1. And again, I don't know if that's due to his technical prowess or just the fact that the game is kind of stinky, and if played the right way with the right exploits, is broken. He got so good that I instantly just started yelling and screaming at the thought of Mortal Kombat. A once true favorite game of mine has now become just a simple ignition source of rage. So it begs the question that I asked previously. When did rage baiting get implemented? When did that become a new thing that you could do to people? I truly want to know. Again, I don't think anyone knows. I think that's kind of the mystery behind it. But if you've made it this far, I want to say thank you. I know I kind of rambled about two random stories regarding Ragebait, but there will be more cartoon reviews. I'm just trying to watch more cartoons. There will be more movie reviews. Look forward to The Running Man. I will be watching that. I'm excited. It should be a good movie, but there will be a review out for it when it comes out. I believe it comes out November 14th. I'll be there in theaters. Also, look forward to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm going to try to get some collector boosters. Going to try to open them up for a video for you guys. That should be a good time. But until then, like, subscribe, comment down below. I gave you plenty of prompts back in the video. This has been The Kevin Show. You guys have a wonderful night. Good night.